Welcome to M&M Sports Podcast number 70. Tonight we're going to jump right into Nebraska basketball. Last night, Brian, if there was such a thing as being happy about a moral victory, it was last night. You don't like moral victories. I don't like moral victories, but Nebraska was playing down two significant players in Rink Mast and Braden Frager. They were taking on a powerhouse Michigan team at Michigan, and they end up losing 75-72. I'm hoping, even though Nebraska lost, maybe we gain a psychological advantage, a psychological edge, if you will, with Michigan knowing we were playing down two guys, and they were playing on their home floor, and they shot many more free throws, and they only beat Nebraska by 3 points.
Yeah, great effort by the Big Red. You're talking Frager, you're talking Mast. You're looking at about 27 points per game of production.
Exactly.
Out of those two individuals. With them out of the lineup, you're on the road in a hostile environment. This team learned a lot about themselves last night. All the naysayers, the doubters out there, I think this team showed, hey, we belong, and we just about pulled it off. I mean,
right?
You go down to the end of the game, and you kind of brought up the free throw disparage. You know, I thought Sam Hoiberg drew a charge there at the end.
Yes,
you're not going to get that call on the road.
Yep.
But it was a great effort by him. We were undersized last night. To come out of that game, a 3-point loss. We led about 90% of the game. That should give these kids sky-high confidence. And we have days now to prepare for a huge game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm. Which was, if you had to pick a time to lose a game, this was the time.
Yeah.
You don't have a road game coming up in a big hurry following this loss. You have a home game where you have time to prep and prepare for a really good Illinois team, and hope that you get Mast and Frager back for that one.
Now, Frager, I know this is an ankle injury. We know how those can be a nagging injury. What's your opinion on him? I'm thinking if he's not like 95%, he's not playing.
Yeah, he needs to be close to 100%.
Yeah, we need him down the stretch.
Right.
These games don't matter.
What is there to be gained?
Yep.
What can you win? I mean, you can win a regular season title.
Who cares?
But we talked about it last podcast. Big picture.
Yep.
Playing the long game. So, yes. What's it really mean?
Yeah.
So make sure that, I'm going to say make sure he's 100% healthy.
Yeah, you want him as close to that 100% as possible. Mast, he had the stomach issues. I made the comment last night. I said, if I'm that guy, I don't know which end it was coming out, but I'm wearing a diaper if I have to be on that court. I'm throwing up on the court if I have to. I'm sure he's the same way. It must have been bad for him to miss that game.
That would be my assumption as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, free throws. Nebraska was really good in their 4 attempts. They made 3.
4 attempts.
Yep. And Michigan was 19 of 23. So, yes, Michigan gained 16 points in a 3-point win.
Yeah, and again, I know that when you're on the road in the Big Ten, especially if you're Nebraska, whether it's basketball, football, doesn't matter. We don't get the benefits of the call. But in this situation, most of the time the home team is going to get a little more of a benefit. But
right.
I do think that those final free throw numbers should have been at least a little closer.
Yeah, I mean, to be expected to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And like I said, Michigan's got to be looking at this saying, Nebraska played down 2 guys. We were playing at home. We outscored them big time from the free throw line, and we only won by 3 points.
Yeah.
And there's a chance that these two teams could meet at least another time or 2.
Yeah.
Could meet in the Big Ten tournament. Could meet in the big tournament.
Right.
I'd sure as hell rather beat them either one of those times as opposed to this one if I had to pick and choose. The big tournament, of course, being the one that matters most. But, yeah, they could meet again in the Big Ten tournament and the conference tournament.
But they got to be thinking right now, holy shit, this is a good basketball team.
You would think, yeah.
You know?
If they had their doubts about Nebraska, I'm guessing those are long gone now.
Right?
Yeah.
I think this basketball team is finally starting to get
a little respect.
The respect that they deserve. Mm-hmm. They will grind a game out. This is a perfect example that this is a game, honestly, without those two guys playing, I thought we had no business keeping this one within double digits.
Right.
So, again, you brought it up. We don't subscribe to the moral victory line, but in this scenario, when that game ended last night, I was happy. I thought, man, we played a great basketball game.
I don't know if I've ever taken a loss in stride
of any kind
so well
in any sport. Yeah,
that was
I agree.
That was an easy one to accept based on circumstances, for sure.
I agree.
Saturday, or when Nebraska plays Illinois, coming up on Sunday, February 1st. I believe, I'm going to check this, I don't believe that Illinois has lost a game since Nebraska beat them.
Yeah, they're top 10 team right now. They've kind of been on a heater since we won that last second contest in Champaign.
Since Jamarcus Lawrence buzzer beater on December 13th at Illinois, they beat Missouri the next game 91-48. So they really bounced back in a big-time fashion.
Took out some aggression there.
Yes, after Nebraska beat them on the buzzer beater. Defeated Southern, Penn State, Rutgers, Iowa, Northwestern, Minnesota, Maryland, and most recently beat Purdue 88-82, and they host Washington tomorrow. So assuming they win that game, I believe they won like 10, 11 in a row since Nebraska beat them.
You think Pinnacle Bank, you think those fans are going to be a little juiced?
And then
Sunday?
some. And then some.
Be a fun environment for another top 10 matchup. I really look for Nebraska to use that loss last night as some motivation going into this game.
Yeah, it'll be a tournament atmosphere is what I would call
sure.
it. Yeah, NCAA tournament type atmosphere. The Michigan game was similar, playing on the road, but yeah, Pinnacle will have that same feel in Lincoln on Sunday against a very talented Illinois squad.
Seems like a lot of these teams after we beat them kind of caught fire. Michigan State's another one who is really on a run right now as well.
Right. Michigan State, Michigan, Nebraska, Illinois. I mean, right now that's the
cream of the crop.
Upper echelon of the Big Ten Conference for sure. Conference title still up for grabs. Purdue is still in the mix as well. But some teams that could make very deep runs in the big tournament for sure.
Yeah, I think I think Nebraska's got a really good shot at seeing Michigan at another point this season.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're a full go in that one.
Yes, exactly. Yep. But tune in and see how Nebraska bounces back on Sunday versus the Fighting Illini, and let's get another winning streak started.
Should be a good one, right?
You bet. Okay, NFL playoffs. If a person was looking for a couple of competitive games, they got just that. Regardless of who, anyone was rooting for, you got two competitive games. You got a little second half snow in the Patriots-Broncos game for people that enjoy watching a football game played in the snow. I mean, you can count me as one of those individuals that, I don't know, it's just got a nostalgic feel about it when you see a game played in snow. That outdoor environment that just kind of takes you back a little bit to when that happened more frequently, it seems like.
Yeah. The old school ways of just lining up against each other and being forced to run the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, This was a great game. Some people wanted to villainize Sean Payton for not kicking that field goal in the first half. That's how he rolls.
Yeah.
Bill Parcells was his mentor. Parcells was always aggressive. Sean Payton was being himself.
Sure.
That's what he does. I thought fans that were criticizing him should know how he rolls. And he's going to do that the majority of the time. Some people said with a backup quarterback, that should make your decision easier to kick a field goal. But I would think one would counter and say, because you have a backup quarterback, you better try and capitalize while you're down there and turn that into 6 points as opposed to 3. So it just depends on one's perspective.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Eric. When you're in that position, you drive that field with your backup. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, you need to get that 7 as opposed to the 3.
Because you're thinking we're only going to have so many opportunities.
Yeah. We might not. We're going to get more chances for field goals.
Right.
But we might not get another shot in the red zone.
And
so
sometimes there is no villain in the scenario, even though fans like to come up with one.
Yeah.
Sometimes there isn't one. It's just it is what it is. He rolled the dice.
Yep.
It didn't work. Snow came in the second half, which minimized both teams' opportunities to move the ball up and down the field.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is I didn't necessarily agree with the play call, but also New England had that play read, so it's easy to say I didn't agree with it,
right?
Because they had it played perfectly. But yeah, if that's me, I'm going for it. I'm not looking ahead to see what the weather's going to do in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Both of these teams play great defense. Denver, without Bo Nix, we know that story. They were still right in that ball game.
Yes.
Denver fans, I mean, that stadium was loud. It was
exactly what you would expect.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere when that snow hit. I as well as you, I was happy to see that snow.
Sure.
Just made for a great ending of that game. I don't care. Give me that kind of weather.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it was a fun game to watch. 10-7, it doesn't bother me. I don't need a bunch of points every game. I can roll with a low scoring game. Like I said, just the Patriots did enough to get out of there with the win, so credit to them. But I don't look at Denver and say they could have done this, this, and this. I don't see that.
The Pats are back.
Yeah, Denver did, what one would expect on defense, really limited the Patriots scoring. They held them to 10 points. They couldn't do much more. No. And the Broncos were playing with a backup quarterback. The snow really hurt both offenses in the second half, minimized their opportunities. Yep. So I guess if somebody's looking to blame somebody, you can blame Mother Nature.
Yeah. I'm not blaming anybody in that one. That was a great game. I don't blame any of the play calls, the coaching, the players on the field. That was just a tough fought game between two really good teams. That's
the way I view it as well. Exactly the same.
Yep.
One should just take it for what it is and say, it was what a lot of fans thought as far as being a close game.
Sure.
Higher scoring, I'm sure most people thought, but 10-7 it was.
Yep.
And then the second game of the day did come with more points, of course. Seattle defeated the Rams 31-27. A really high-octane, exciting game that went down to the end, Brian.
Yeah, Sam Darnold played the game of his life Sunday, playing his best football at the most opportune time of the year. And we all knew Seattle was a great football team. Mm-hmm. I had him squeaking by in this one based on home field advantage.
Right.
And I do believe had these venues been switched, this score would have been the other way around.
Yeah, you think
it was that close?
Yeah, I agree. And Darnold did have a great day. 25-36 for 346 and 3 touchdowns in this one.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything he could to get them to that Super Bowl. You can't take away anything from that kid.
Jackson Smith-Njigba, he had a pretty fair game. 10 catches, 153 yards, and a touchdown. Not too shabby.
Who's not going to take that?
Right. The Rams, I mean, they were there. The opportunity was there. They just they came up just a smidge short. Stafford, 22 of 35, 374, 3 touchdowns. Nothing to sneeze at as far as his performance.
No, I mean, he just continues to perform at a high level after all these seasons. He still is right there among the best.
And speaking of the best, Puka Nacua in a losing effort, 9 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown. That kid is amazing. He's really burst onto the scene last year.
Yeah, he's the type of receiver that every team wants.
Yeah, not afraid to go over the middle. I mean, he does everything that one would ask a receiver to do.
Yeah, for sure. We're a long ways out still here, but where are you leaning in this Super Bowl?
Well, first thing I'm gonna do is see where the current point spread stands.
I think I saw 4.5 by Seattle last I saw.
Yes, Seattle 4.5 point favorite. Over and under of 46. The game was played in Santa Clara, of course. Quick take. I mean, I think Seattle is the better team.
Yeah.
But that doesn't guarantee a win.
No, you're right.
It doesn't guarantee a win.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel with 2 weeks to prepare. That guy's good. I mean, I thought that when he was at Tennessee, coach of the Titans, and he did some pretty good things with them. He just got to a point. They got to a point where he got them to the playoffs, but couldn't really get them over that next hurdle, so to speak. I don't think he had an overabundance of talent there.
No,
I think he did the most, and that staff did the most with what they had to work with.
He did more with less there for sure.
And now he is reunited with the team he used to play for, and boy, it's come together quicker than I thought.
Well, and you've been high on him all season.
Right. I thought he would do great things there. I just didn't think it would happen this quick.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But it's really come together quicker than I thought.
That being said, can they keep up with Seattle? I mean, I'm kind of in between right now. I don't know if I want to make a pick quite yet, to be honest with you.
We have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Seattle, I think Seattle's a more complete team.
I do too.
They have more firepower on offense. I think that's the biggest difference. Both the defenses are really solid. But, Seattle's got, I think they just have more playmakers. Like I said, it doesn't guarantee a damn thing, and I'm going to wait on my prediction. But, yes, I think Seattle, the better team, and the point spread obviously reflects that. It's a 4.5 point favorite.
Sure.
Neutral site game. As far as Super Bowls always are generally the case. So
I'm leaning Seattle right now, but I'll make a solid pick next week.
That's kind of how I'm feeling as well. Let's just wait, evaluate, and see where things stand here in a week.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, Brian, a lot of coaching changes in the NFL. We're going to touch on that a little bit.
Sure. 'Tis the season.
Yeah.
There's kind of a coaching carousel right now, if you will. Any surprise hirings or firings? Is there anybody out there that maybe's been let go that has caught you by surprise this year?
I mean, we talked about Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin. Just the combination of both being elsewhere, or in Harbaugh's case, elsewhere with the Giants. Just the fact 2 long tenured coaches like that are both gone was a bit of a surprise that both are not coming back to the Ravens and Steelers.
Can he succeed in New York?
Yes.
You think so? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do. I think they got a good young core of players. I mean, the Giants are a pretty good organization. I know they've been down for a while, but they've won, I believe, 4 Super Bowls in their history. 2 under Parcells, 2 under Tom Coughlin. I think Harbaugh will have it up and running here, I'll say, in the next 2 to 3 years.
I think sometimes the Giants are just a forgotten team.
Yeah.
they, even though they're playing in the big market like New York, a lot of times they're just not held on the same pedestal as some of these other programs.
Yeah, I think the Ravens situation where Harbaugh goes to the Giants, it might be one of those unique situations where they might both benefit. I really like Jesse Minter, the coach that the Ravens hired, was a former coordinator for the Chargers.
Okay.
His credentials are pretty damn good. I think in time Harbaugh will win with the Giants. I'm going to say sooner rather than later. And Jesse Minter, 42 years old, so a young mind, we'll say. Most recently, defensive coordinator with the Chargers, 24 and 25, and then defensive coordinator of the Michigan Wolverines in 2022 and 23. So he went with Coach Harbaugh to the Chargers, won a title as a defensive coordinator with the Michigan Wolverines under Jim Harbaugh.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of upside with this guy. I think this is a sneaky good hire by the Baltimore Ravens. That's what I think.
How about the Cleveland Browns bringing in veteran Todd Monken?
Former coordinator of Baltimore,
Yes.
so he comes over from a very good organization. This one, I'm not that firm on. I think Cleveland actually had a pretty good coach that they let go in Stefanski.
Yeah.
I know things haven't gone well the last couple of years, but he took the Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Browns to the playoffs 2 times.
Which is hard to do.
So I will say the Atlanta Falcons, I believe, made a good hire in acquiring Stefanski.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, this isn't coaching related, but while we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, what thoughts do you have on backup third string, fourth string quarterback Shedeur Sanders being named to the NFL All-Pro game?
It was a bit of a surprise.
I mean, he
didn't even start the season as a starter.
Did everybody else just say no?
I guess.
I mean, I'm lost on this one.
What would be the bigger surprise? Him making the Pro Bowl or Bill Belichick not being a first ballot Hall of Famer?
Oh, boy. I mean, that's a tough one because to me that was a no-brainer as well.
Yeah, something seems a little bit off with that one.
Some politics at play, maybe?
Something strange.
I mean, this guy's second all-time in wins, trailing only Don Shula, won 6 Super Bowl titles, made it to the Super Bowl 9 times, and he's not a first-time ballot Hall of Famer? Come on.
But that might not be as big a surprise as Shedeur Sanders making the Pro Bowl with 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Welcome to the world of weird.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me. Again,
neither one does.
Politics are at play here with Sanders being named there. I don't know the benefit other than maybe they want to all of talk radio discussing this because
it sure seems that way, doesn't it?
I'm scratching my head. I mean, this guy did not. In fact, the rookie who played in front of him, Dylan Gabriel, actually had better numbers than him.
Right.
So I'm at a loss right now on this. Again, I say this a little tongue-in-cheek, but did everyone else say no? We know the Pro Bowl is not what it used to be.
Right.
They've turned it into more of a game competition. Fine. But it's still an honor to be selected. I mean, I would think if they asked me, I would say yes, just because when I retire, I want that next to my name.
Yeah, for sure.
So this guy being named to that is akin to one of the Royals making the All-Star game in the 2010s when we were struggling, but each team had to take a guy.
Yeah,
so I don't know.
I said, good luck figuring that out. But those are 2 oddities for sure.
Some head scratchers, absolutely. Yes. Yep. Still got a couple job openings in the NFL. The Raiders are still looking. The Cardinals are still looking.
Did you call the Raiders and tell them to hire Buffalo's former coach?
Yeah, I sent a couple emails, but they haven't got back to me on that. I think some of their ownership, by some of their ownership, I mean Tom Brady, is probably preoccupied right now complaining about his former coach not being selected to the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But really, I do still think that would be a great hire. I don't know that he wants to coach right away again.
Might just want to take a little time out.
Maybe he wants to
decompress a little bit.
And maybe wait a while and handpick his job a little more.
Sure.
Maybe an organization like Vegas is not somewhere he wants to go.
Right.
I have no idea.
Right.
Usually those guys will follow the money, though. Mm-hmm. If enough money's thrown at them, they're going to take it. So
for sure.
Who knows? Maybe the Raiders don't want him. I don't know. Raiders have not been great at making head coaching selections the last decade. So
I think John Gruden was the last good coach that they had.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So I don't know. At this point, we're kind of in that lull of sports. We've got Husker basketball, obviously. Mm-hmm. Baseball season, we're, about a month away from teams reporting.
Catchers and pitchers reporting. Yep, that's when you know it's getting close.
College football, it's been a little quiet.
Right.
We got some news with the Huskers going on, but overall, it's kind of been quiet.
Sure. And speaking of baseball, we're going to transition real quick. I actually have some way too early numbers as far as what Vegas is telling us.
Love it.
In time, like hopefully next podcast, as we've talked about, we're going to break down the Royals more in depth. But right now, I'll give you what Vegas is telling us. Let's just jump right into the AL Central and what they're projecting as of this moment. And they've got the Central pretty wide open. They have Detroit as the slight favorite, the Tigers plus 165, and then the Royals 2-1 to win the Central plus 200, and then Cleveland plus 310. So they've got those three teams really clustered, really close together. Those three, they're saying, yeah, whoever maybe makes another move or two, that might put them ahead of the game, so to speak, before we get to action, you know what I'm saying?
And nobody's really separated themselves from any of the others right now.
Yeah.
But, we know that can happen really easily, though. Mm-hmm. You get, it could work in either direction. Either you have somebody penciled in that struggles, underperforms, or maybe you have a pitcher who comes out of nowhere like a Noah Cameron and just kind of lights the world on fire, right, and elevates you. So, it's not always about going out and signing a big name. Sometimes it's just about getting lucky with the guys you have.
Yeah, and getting the most out of what you have on your roster.
Yep.
The Twins are plus 650, so they're a little behind those three, and then the White Sox are plus 3,000. So
okay.
They're saying they're a very safe bet to finish in last place, and then any of the four theoretically, they're saying could prevail in that division.
Not a big difference from last year. I mean, it was kind of up for grabs last year that we knew the White Sox would be bad.
Yes,
and we kind of knew that the rest of the division, give or take a few games here or there, could make a run.
Right on. Any guess who the World Series leader would be? The team most apt to win, I should say, based on odds?
I think it would be crazy if I didn't say the Dodgers.
The Dodgers are a plus 220. The next closest is the Yankees plus 950.
Wow.
So the Dodgers...
Big separation.
Yep.
Well...
are the favorite, for sure, to three-peat. This would be a three-peat if they won it this year.
It only goes to show, Eric, that while money can't always buy you wins, which the Yankees have proven, the Yankees have struggled for the last decade and a half, even though they spend a lot of money. But evidently they're not spending enough because the Dodgers have gone out and bought themselves 2 World Series.
Right. And speaking of teams that spend money, the Mets are third at 13-1, and the Mets spend a bunch of money every year, and they still haven't won any World Series since 1986.
Yeah, they spend a lot of
So
money.
as much as people want to criticize, we'll say the Dodgers, the Mets are a team that spends and still can't win, to put it bluntly.
Again, to me, the Mets are almost a forgotten team in that regard because I don't think of them as a perennial record breaker out there because they have underperformed so badly.
Right. Let's just have some fun with this. The Mets, I just said 1986. The Yankees, the second favorite, which we talked about. They haven't won one since 2009.
Wow.
Fourth on the list, the Toronto Blue Jays at 14-1, have not won one since 1993. Continuing on, the Mariners, the fifth favorite at 15-1, have never been to a World Series before. And then comes the Philadelphia Phillies at 15. They've had some success.
Yeah.
They're not in the same droughts as those other teams. Atlanta's won one very recently. They're at 15-1. Red Sox, we know their history. They're at 17. The Cubs at 19. And I'll just jump to the Royals. The Royals come in at 33-1 currently.
Okay.
33-1. The Brewers are right in that. They're at 33-1 as well. The Tigers are at 30. And those are the teams that are kind of in that cluster there. Just something for baseball fans to be thinking about, something to go off of anyway.
A little food for thought, just to wet your whistle there. But I mean, we know at the end of the season whether they're in the World Series or not, they're going to make it a long ways with the Dodgers and the Yankees.
Sure,
you can pencil those 2 teams in. It's just kind of who else is going to
be a part of the party. So
jump in and take a spot.
Yeah, and the Royals, we know what they did last year. They went 82-80 with an abundance of injuries on the pitching side of things. If they stay healthy this year, I mean, just projecting, definitely potential there to increase that win total. You'd like to think, and hope maybe upper 80s. Shoot for 90, somewhere in that range, I suppose.
And I think that's where we would have been last year.
Right.
Without the injuries.
Sure.
I think we would have made a pretty solid run at that 88 to 90 wins. But I mean, you can't do anything about that.
Sure.
It happens in every sport. You just chalk it up to bad luck and move on.
Yep. And say, and hope this year you stay healthier and you have, guys that might have had off years bounce back this year and do their thing.
The only thing with a team like the Royals, these windows are pretty narrow for them.
That's fair.
You only have a pitching staff like we have.
Right.
Every so often.
Yeah.
You only have a generational talent like Bobby Witt every so often.
But they are doing a better job of trying to sign guys.
Yes.
Miguel Garcia,
Yes.
they've now signed him to go along with Bobby Witt Jr.
Yep.
and some other dudes to where they're trying to keep some core guys together for a while to try and widen that window a little bit.
They need to wrap up Vinny.
Yeah.
They need to get him, and we really need to hope that Caglione steps into the role that he's capable of.
We hope he shortens that swing up a little bit.
Because if he does, all of a sudden that is a very dangerous lineup.
He is. But you don't have to be a hitting expert to see that he's got a long swing.
Sure.
If you wanted to critique one thing, you got to shorten that baby up a little bit.
Hopefully they've worked on that. Hopefully they've had that discussion since last fall with him.
Short and quicker through the zone.
Salvy's going to do his thing.
Right.
He's going to bat 230. He's going to strike out, but he's also going to hit 25 home runs and drive in 90 runs. So if we could get Caglione to maybe step into that role right now, our offense is a lot more dangerous all of a sudden.
Yeah, but no, pitching depth right now seems to be their strength.
Sure.
Boy, they have some arms.
Yep.
keep them healthy, and it's going to be fun to follow. We're going to break it down more in depth. But remember, Huskers in Illinois on Sunday. And Super Bowl will be here before we know it.
Yep.
We'll give predictions on that next podcast.
Thanks for listening. We will be back in 1 week, and hope Nebraska gets that win Sunday.
Yeah, have a great night.